What's up, gamers, and welcome to the channel for another episode of Will It Play, where I try to inform you just how well games will play on your favorite handheld devices without you, the gamer, needing to make any changes to the settings, whether it be system or in-game settings. Yes, that's right. That means everything I'm showing you here is default settings. So you can get an expectation of what gameplay might be like without you having to waste any time tinkering to try and find the best performance for you. This is really geared more towards the gamers that just want to be able to download a game and jump straight in. So today we're going to be checking out God of War. God of War Ragnarok is releasing on PC in 1 week from now, so really what better time to check out how this game performs. I'm Jared, and this is God of War Will It Play. So before we jump into some gameplay, let's talk settings. As I mentioned in these videos, I only utilize the default settings and I don't make any changes to those. So these are the default settings that I will be referencing for this video and this game. This is what the game has defaulted to, and I have not made any changes to any of these. All I've done is cross-compared that it's the same across my devices. So first up is the Steam Deck LCD. From the get-go, we see this is a pretty intensive game on the system. The CPU usage sits between the low 70s to low 80s, and the GPU usage is capped out at that 99%. As for FPS, it started off in the low 40s, but once we got into combat, it's sitting in the mid to high 30s. And then battery life. In 1 hour of playing on the LCD, I lost 68% battery life, so we can only estimate around 88 minutes or just under an hour and a half of gameplay on a full charge.
I'm out of breath.
Next up's the Steam Deck OLED, and we're seeing similar numbers here. CPU usage averages around the mid 80 percentile range, and the GPU usage is still capped out at 99%. We do see a slight increase in FPS, sitting in the mid 40s to low 50s, and then looking at battery life, the OLED shines as always. In 1 hour of playing on the OLED, I lost 42% battery life, so we can estimate around 142 minutes or a little under 2.5 hours on one full charge.
Now's your chance. An ogre? Here? Who built this place?
Moving on to the ROG Ally Z1 Extreme. With the ROG Ally, even though I do move through these different operating modes during these types of videos, I'm playing at the 720p resolution, as I believe this is the closest in comparison of what we can get with the Steam Deck. So starting off in the 15 watt performance mode, and this does not put as much of a strain on the Z1 Extreme processor in this mode, with our CPU usage averaging between 20 to 30%. GPU usage is still up there, but not fully maxed out, sitting around 96%. And then our FPS, while not amazing, still definitely doable. During combat in this mode, we consistently sit in the low 30s. Battery life is okay on this. Playing on the 15 watt performance mode, I lost 70% in just 1 hour, so we can estimate just shy of an hour and a half of play on this mode.
Well done!
Next, we're checking out the 25 watt unplugged turbo mode. Obviously, by playing in the higher mode, we see more of an impact on CPU usage, averaging in the low to mid 40 percentile. GPU usage is still up there, sitting around 93%, and we do see a small increase in our FPS, averaging in the high 40s during combat. The drawback to the turbo mode, as always, is battery life. I didn't even make it a full hour here, getting only 53 minutes of gameplay on the full charge.
You find its weak point!
Careful! I'm ready!
We can use it against them!
Since battery life is a valid concern, you may want to plug it in for the 30 watt turbo mode. Numbers here are pretty similar to the 25 watt turbo mode, and here we're only seeing a slight increase in the CPU usage, and then we do see some slight improvement with the FPS, with it pushing into the low 50s a little bit more while we're plugged in.
Back to the wheel.
So let's recap. First off, getting that holistic picture of battery life. For the Steam Deck LCD, I lost 68% battery life in 1 hour, so we can estimate just shy of an hour and a half gameplay on a full charge. For the Steam Deck OLED, I lost 42% battery life in an hour, so we can estimate between 2 and 2.5 hours of gameplay on a full charge. Looking at the ROG Ally, playing at the 720p and the 15-watt performance mode, I lost 70% in just 1 hour, so estimating around an hour and a half playtime on this. And then playing at 720p in the 25-watt turbo mode, I didn't even make it a full hour playing on a full charge. Next, we'll look at our average frames per second. None of our numbers are really too far off from each other. The Steam Deck LCD averaged around 37 frames per second during my testing, while the Steam Deck OLED averaged around 47 frames per second. As for the ROG Ally, our best performance will come by playing at one of the turbo modes, not surprised. But for any mode, you can see that the best performance comes at playing 720p, and in my experience, I saw a loss in about 5 to 10% FPS each time I bumped up the resolution. Now, I will say that you may see better numbers depending on what zone you're in. As I was playing more after my initial filming, there was parts where I was nearing the summit in Midgard, and I was getting 60 to 70 frames per second on the ROG Ally in turbo mode at 1080p. So numbers will definitely vary a little bit zone to zone and whether you're in combat or not. So, God of War, will it play? I'm going to give this a yes. Even though our frames per second aren't the best, and this isn't the best performance that we've seen in a game, it is definitely more than playable. And what better time to play than now with God of War Ragnarok coming out on PC in just under a week. In fact, I checked how long to beat, and it says the campaign, if you're focusing only on that, only takes a little over 20 hours to complete. So if this is something that you're wanting to check out, or check out again before Ragnarok drops, grab your favorite handheld device, fire the game up, put it on the easiest difficulty, and just blaze through the campaign in the next week. Get yourself ready for Ragnarok. That's what I'm doing. If you have been playing God of War, or if you're looking forward to Ragnarok, I'd love to hear about your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel because your support means everything. And make sure, if you're wanting to see how God of War Ragnarok performs on these devices, hit that little bell icon so that you're notified when that video drops sometime next week. Thanks again, everybody, and game on.